Hey guys, I'm Stephanie Hamley with Hamley Bake Shoppe, and today I'm going to show you how to decorate a dummy cake in fondant. Dummy cakes are a really easy and affordable way to decorate cakes without spending a ton of money on ingredients and all that stuff. Maybe you're trying to build a portfolio, maybe you've been asked to do a photo shoot or something like that, and instead of wasting cake, this is a really easy way to decorate a cake and make it look beautiful, and then you can snap pictures, you can have it on display, you can do anything. It's just there's a wide variety of things to do. So first things first, I will show you what I've got here. So this is just a rolling pin. I like using this for fondant just because we have one of those huge sheeters at the shop, and this is basically what's in the sheeter. It's just a giant rolling pin like this. We've got our dummy cake. This is a 10-inch dummy, and it's about 4.5 inches tall. I've got an acrylic disc, fondant smoothers, I've got some shortening, gloves, I'll show you while we've got that, our fondant, some dental floss, and some food coloring. So first things first, we don't need the floss yet. I'm gonna put my gloves on, and we are gonna cover our dummy in shortening. The reason I use shortening is because it allows this fondant to adhere to the styrofoam, but still gives you the freedom to be able to move it a little bit, or if you mess up, you can easily take the fondant off and re-knead it and put it back on. You do not need a huge thick coat. You just need a very light coat of shortening or piping gel. I've heard some people spritz theirs with water. Fondant and water don't go together, so maybe that works for them, it does not work for me. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of my shortening. So I'm just gonna do the sides. Okay, so that's done. With my gloved hands, I'm gonna go ahead and knead my fondant. So when I knead, I'm taking the palm of my hand, or the heel of my hand really, and I'm pushing forward and then using my fingers, bringing it back. So I'm pushing forward and then bringing it back. You just want it to be nice and smooth, but it's just a nice little rhythm. So you push and then pull back. Okay, so we're gonna do a marbled technique. There's different ways you can do this. We are gonna take our black food coloring, and I'm only going to cover or color this portion black or gray. And I'm just going to smush it. I'm not worried about this whole thing being gray or black. I just want to get the color incorporated. And then we're going to mix some pieces in here. All right. Like I said, there's different ways to do this. Okay, so now we're just gonna knead this again. But we're not gonna knead it all the way completely. We're just gonna get it smushed in just enough to where we start having those striations. So your floss. If you have a measuring tape, then that is really preferred, but you might not have a flexible measuring tape. So just grab some floss. I'm sure everybody's got some of that laying around. And you want to measure, basically you want to go from the side to the top to the other side. And that's how long and wide you want your fondant. And that's going to be able to cover the entire cake. And I usually go over just a little bit to give me some room for overlap. All right, so I'm just gonna sprinkle just a touch of the cornstarch on my table. And then I'm just gonna take my rolling pin and kind of like how you're gonna roll out pie dough. The goal is to roll it and then rotate it to keep that constant circle. But I mean, look how pretty that marble is already. So I really don't have a circle. I have a weird square. So I'm gonna go ahead and check my length. So I take my floss and I just measure, if I can grab a hold of it. So I still need just a little bit longer this way. So I'm gonna keep rolling. And as you can tell, like a lot of times I'm rubbing my hand over it. You can tell, if there's if it's too thick somewhere. So if you notice like there's a big thick bubble here, then try to use your rolling pin and smooth it out. This feels good to me. And we're good on our lengths. All right. So now we're gonna take our fondant or our dummy. You can roll it up like this on your rolling pin. See if I can do this without dropping anything. Okay, so the first step, grab your fondant smoother and we're gonna attach it to the top. You wanna make sure there's no air bubbles. Basically, we're smoothing and attaching the fondant to the dummy at the same time. And we're just gonna work our way down. And think of it kind of like a skirt, so you wanna kind of pull the material out. And then I'm just very gently rubbing and smoothing at the same time. Think about putting like lotion on your face. Just very gently. You don't want to do that. Okay, so I have gotten everything smooth. Now, what I want to do is take my fondant smoother, and there's different ones, and everybody has a preferred smoother. But this one is basically has a flat edge, which is what I like. This one is a little bit more rounded, so it's harder to get a crisp edge. So now I'm gonna take that rounded edge and I'm just gonna go up and down on the edge of my cake. And I'm just going up and down and basically smoothing it. one thing we can do, we're gonna get rid of all this excess. Just so I can move it around a little bit and I'm not gonna risk ripping any more fondant. Then you can take your other smoother, clear. No. I'm gonna take this one on the bottom and then I'm gonna gently just pushing to the other smoother. And what this is gonna do is give you a nice crisp edge. If you don't want a crisp edge and you like how it looks, then you are done. And I'm gonna show you one other method that'll probably blow your mind here in a second. Maybe not. Maybe you already knew this. Okay, so another way to smooth it, so say you want a like super sharp edge, and you can put a little cornstarch on it, and you're gonna flip it upside down. You're gonna bring this up, and you can do this with a cake as well. You don't have to, it doesn't have to just be a dummy. And then you can hold onto the thing, onto the dummy cake or your real cake, however you want to do it. And basically it does that same technique we were doing earlier with the two smoothers. So you're kind of pushing down to create that nice edge, but then you're also smoothing it. And then you can take your knife, as long as it's sharp, and just run it along the edge. So if you had a cardboard circle, it'd be easy to just run that along the edge of the thing. This, because it's styrofoam, I don't want to cut the styrofoam, so makes it a little bit more, you have to pay attention. You don't want to cut your styrofoam. But I'm not cutting like this. I'm trying to keep my blade straight with the styrofoam. And then we're just gonna flip this back. Okay. Nice, beautiful, crisp edge. And then you can just smooth it one more time. And that's it, folks. So in our next video, we are going to do a buttercream layer for the top of this, and then we're gonna stack them all together and then show you how we can decorate this. So this is perfect, like I said, for pictures, or say you're doing a wedding cake and the bride doesn't want a ton of servings, but they want the height of the cake. This is such an easy way to be able to get that without, you know, stressing yourself out. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you like and subscribe, hit the bell, hit all the things. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and we hope to see you back next week for the next video. Until then, see y'all again. No, until then, we'll see you next time.